Well, what's the difference? You're already there.
Welcome everybody to the 6 p.m. City Council meeting of September 6, 2022. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present with the exception of Council Member Lopez, who has asked to be excused. We'll start today's ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance. Since Vice Chair Lopez is absent, I've asked Brianna Lemire Alvarado to come and help us through the pledge. Right there.
May the crowd please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bree. If you'll please consider joining us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is acknowledgements. Tonight we'll be doing a couple of special acknowledgements that are part of the full agenda, but each council meeting we have an opportunity for council members just to make a quick mention of any acknowledgements in the communities. And this is the time for that. If anybody has anything they want to mention tonight, this week. Anything over here? Okay, we'll move on to our business at hand. So I see a lot of fresh faces in the crowd. Sometimes when you come into the city council chambers, there's a lot of really boring work that happens here, but there's also a lot of really important things that happen here. And every so often we get to celebrate some things in this chamber. Today is one of those things where we celebrate people who have given a lot for this community. Okay, and we're going to start tonight with a recognition for Mary McKinley, who has retired as the executive director from the Ogden Nature Center. And then we'll follow that up with Ogden Untamed Softball. So our recognition for Mary McKinley will be read by Angela Chaburka.
Oh, thank you, and I'm honored to do so. And I see many representatives from the Nature Center out in the audience too. The Ogden City Council and Mayor proudly recognize Mary McKinley for providing invaluable contributions to the Ogden community. As the executive director of the Ogden Nature Center for the past 19 years, Mary McKinley has helped create a safe environment where people of all ages can unite with nature and learn about the natural world. She's been involved in various projects, community programs, classes, and events to promote nature and environmental education. Because of her efforts, many individuals throughout our community have developed a greater appreciation and understanding of the environment we live in. Mary has been heavily involved in the Ogden community. She has served on various boards, including the Association of Nature Center Administrators, the Botany Department Advisory Board at Weber State University, the Utah Society for Environmental Education, and Rotary Club of Ogden, where she served as club president. Mary has retired after nearly 2 decades of leading the Ogden Nature Center. Her enthusiasm, leadership, and vision have played a significant role in the center's growth and success. We wish her the best in all her future endeavors and look forward to what she accomplishes in the next chapter of her life. This is presented this day, September 2022, by the chair and mayor. Thank you so much, Mary. You can shake everybody's hand, and then we'd love to hear from you, and we'll take a photo also.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Give you a hug if I could. Congratulations. Thank you.
You want to take a picture while we're standing?
Want to do that? Okay. Does anybody from the board
Bring
want
the
to come
board
up
up,
in
yeah.
the picture? You all can come up and be in the picture if you'd like.
The wall is, yeah, bring them all.
Yeah, anybody that's here with Mary can come on up and be in the picture with her. Come on up. And do you want to be by yourself? Or do you, yeah, come on up, everybody. Anybody that would like to come up. Oh, sorry, Mary.
Oh, great, the tall guy.
I know.
just saying,
We
is
got
there room
this
for
one
me in
and
that?
that.
There you go.
Bookended.
All right, everybody looking here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. That's not a little trigger happy. That's good. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very, very much for this recognition. I really appreciate it. I don't know who is responsible for it, but thank you. Chairman Nadolski, Mayor Caldwell, members of the City Council, the administration. It's been a pleasure working with you. I can't believe 19 years has gone by. And, you know, I can't accept this recognition without recognizing members of the board of directors who've provided me with outstanding leadership and direction, an incredible staff who have always made me look good and have worked hard, and you know, I've been very, very fortunate to be surrounded by such excellence all the time. So, and I love Ogden. It's just been such a pleasure to be involved with the Ogden Nature Center and with the Ogden community. So thank you very much, and certainly hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Chair, I'd love to make a comment if I might.
Absolutely.
Mary, I just want to say thank you so much for your service, and it was wonderful serving on the board recently with you and the other board members and staff. But also, I've spent so much time at the Nature Center and all the time I've lived in Ogden that it's just a part of the whole picture, and it wouldn't be the same here without it. I just really appreciate that. And I should have said in acknowledgments that there's a wonderful celebration happening at the Nature Center on Friday, the Wildwoods Bash. I'm sure the tickets are sold out, but if you ever get a chance to go, it's a wonderful, wonderful occasion to donate to a good cause.
Chair, can I make a quick comment as well?
Yes, please.
I felt like I should yield the reading of that honor to Angela, having served on the board for several years, and being part of the board as well has been a great experience. And Mary, you're responsible for that award, for reading that, for earning that, for your time and energy, and I appreciate that. There's a few things about Mary's got a lot of great talents, and one of the things I hope to take away from my interaction with Mary is she has the ability to make you feel like you're the most important person when you're talking to her. Like everything, I don't know how she does that, but she's phenomenal in what she does. She's done so many great things for Ogden, and just appreciate you for, in my limited interaction with you, it was great. So thank you.
Chair, do you mind?
Please.
When I first got on the city council, people would ask, what's it like being on the city council? And I would tell them, oh, there's just so much information you have to learn, and so much background and backstory. And I was prepared for that part of it. I kind of knew that part was coming. The part that really, really took me by surprise was how many wonderful, phenomenal people we have in this community, and being able to work with those people. And Mary is right at the top of that list. It was an honor for me to be able to serve on the Nature Center board and to work side by side with Mary. And she says it's a pleasure to do business with, or to work with Ogden, and it's truly a pleasure to work with you. She was great to work with. She's one of those people, she just works tirelessly, and she gets in and gets things done. She's a problem solver, and I would follow her anywhere. She is truly one of the great leaders and pillars in our community, and I thank you for the work that you did and for the smiley that you did it with. So thank you so much.
I just have a quick comment, Mary. I can't believe that you've been doing this for 20 years just because you don't look like you've been doing this for 20 years. And I do follow up with what Councilmember Ritchie said. You do, when you talk to people, you make them feel like you're the only person in the room. And so thank you for being patient with us, for asking, when we asked really stupid questions, I'm sure, and you're like, there it goes again. But thank you. Thank you for your service and protecting the 100 and I'm going to round up 40 acres out there of open space that we have that's a gem in our city. So thank you.
Mary, I have the pleasure of having known you before you went to the Nature Center, and I spent way too much money on bicycles in Sunset Bingham's well before you came here. But I knew when you were here, you led with your heart and you led with your soul, and you've impacted so many lives in this whole process here. I'm very honored to be able to give you this recognition. You've lived a phenomenal life. You've got way more ahead of you. I watch you on Instagram and Facebook and kind of think, man, I want to be doing some of that too. So congratulations. Thank you. You've earned it in an enormous way. And thank you for being both a friend and a leader in our community. And we can't thank you enough for everything you've done here.
Chair, I'd love to say something new, but it's all been said.
It has.
But I would like to say this, in one season of my life, I had a lot to do with the Boy Scouts, and there was an awful lot of Eagle projects that you enabled out there at the Nature Center, and you were always very accommodating to allow service and helped organize all that. It's been a pleasure to have that under your direction, so thank you for your service.
So just about everything's been said. Not quite. So we're all part of the Ogden community here. Obviously, your impacts to our community go without saying. But what a lot of people don't recognize, in my day job, I work in wildlife management, and there's a big community of people throughout the state of Utah and throughout the West that want to thank you for your work. The Division of Wildlife and wildlife in Utah and wildlife in the West would not be the same without Mary McKinley. So on behalf of wildlife professionals and on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of people who are wildlife enthusiasts in Utah, thank you.
Yeah.
Wait till she sits down, then we'll start talking again. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. You guys got the gist? That's kind of how the script goes. Okay. So the next item on the agenda is recognition of the Ogden Untamed Softball. And you'll be surprised to hear that I have taken the liberty, and my colleagues here have granted me the liberty, to read today's recognition for you guys. The Ogden City Council and Mayor proudly recognize Ogden Untamed Softball for providing invaluable contributions to the Ogden community. With the increasingly significant financial demands of competitive sports becoming less affordable and less attainable for families and their children, the volunteerism of Ogden Untamed Softball has made competing at a high level against other club teams in the area attainable. Through Ogden Untamed Softball, young Ogden girls stay active, they build confidence, and they make new friends. Through this program, they develop important life skills, including leadership, character, and teamwork. Through the efforts of these selfless coaches, parents, and volunteers and players, Untamed Softball has provided a competitive level of play at a recreational level of pay. We commend all of them for the countless volunteer hours to build the teams, facilitate practices, coordinate tournaments, along with support off the field that has created opportunities for youth in Ogden to compete at a higher level. We wish Untamed the best of luck moving forward, and we present this to Ed Bridge on behalf of all of you on this 6th day of September 2022. Ed, can you come up for us? I'm glad you did too.
I think you gotta go. Come on, all you girls.
All right, every kiddo, every parent, everybody involved in Untamed, come on up.
You have to stand with that.
Kids over. I know. Millie.
We're gonna pretend like the frame is right here, okay? So if you're outside of my arms,
Squish, 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 squish.
Zaylee,
there you
come
go.
with Bubba.
Squish, squish.
Right, Photoshop exists, right? Okay.
Coaches too.
All of our coaches.
Coaches that are here.
I see you hiding in the back. Come on.
Squeeze in. Yeah, you gotta squeeze in. Okay. If I get everyone looking here, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry, thank
There you go.
I know.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Okay, guys, let's give Ed a chance to talk. He's super excited. He's been working all day on this speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you, everyone. Thank you for this. I appreciate this. It was completely unexpected, and it's really to me the true heroes and true people who deserve this are the coaches. From seeing Untamed softball and getting text messages from coaches and saying from their almost wins to their finally they get their first wins, and to see their hours. And I know there was a lot of sleepless nights that coaches went through that. And as they contacted a lot the city to say, hey, we need a field, we need a field, we need a field, they put in a lot of hours. And so to me, I know the administration feels the same way. Coaches change lives, right? That's who the real heroes are, the coaches, and then the kids. I mean, they're the ones out there doing all the work. And man, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I really think, we gave a standing ovation. If we could give one for the kids, I think that they're the ones that deserve this, right? 'Cause they're the ones that this is all about and this is for. And administration, I know. I don't know if the mayor even remembers this, but years ago when I went into his office and we were talking about the whole idea of Untamed, the first thing he said is, how soon can we get this going? And so there's been support there, and then obviously support from the council. And just thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And I'm going to piggyback on your speech. I agree with everything you said. I want every kiddo in here that's wearing Ogden Untamed. A good number of you were at practice. Do you guys remember this gentleman from the very first practice we had in the spring? Yeah. He's hard to recognize because he got a haircut, right?
Yeah, got a haircut.
And a suit.
He's wearing a suit. Yep, they recognize you. But one of the reasons we bring you here is not just to recognize you. It's so that you know all of the people that are here working on your behalf. Okay, and it's for all the people that are here to know who they're working on behalf of, right? These people in this room, you guys, when you're out playing softball, it's not just you guys playing softball. We're not just a softball team. We're not just any old club. There's a lot of clubs out there across the state. People write plenty of checks for those. This one's different, okay? Those clubs don't have this in their corner, okay? This dais is packed with good people, with good hearts that want to do good things for good kids, and that's you, okay? So I want you guys to remember these faces for all of these people here because they're all working on your behalf, all right? This man right here, he doesn't like giving speeches, but he did it because he got a haircut. But Coach Sydney, she works all day long. This is her job. And then she volunteers all night and all weekend to help you guys. This is what they care about. You are what they care about. Okay? You can go and play on any program you want to. Anybody, if a parent can cut a check, you can go to that program if they want. But you'll never get what we have here. Okay? And that's the difference that we have in Ogden is we get to decide. We get to build the program that we want to be. Youth sports has gone way out of hand in a lot of places in this country. But we get to do youth sports right because we are Ogden. We are Untamed. Okay? There's a lot of little kids here. They probably might not even remember tonight. But next year when you come back, you'll remember. The year after you come back, you'll remember. And they're all going to remember you too. Okay? So remember this man. Remember everybody that you see here tonight. But let's not forget the coaches, right? So if we can bring up Sydney Clark, Mark Krieger, Ryan Smith, David Johnson, Katie Johnson, and Michelle Beignet.
You can start over here. She's busy. Start over here.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Go get in lines.
Really, thanks so much. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Yep, Coach. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you.
Hey, thank you. Sir. Yep.
Coach. One more picture with you.
Yeah. Can you do one more with just coaches?
Coaches, if you could align right here for me, please.
We need Ed in the picture.
Yeah, Ed.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Way to sneak off.
He tried.
All right, everyone looking here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And for insurance purposes.
Hands down, most elbow him in the picture. Look at that.
Thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes. I don't know.
I'll be real quick. But thank you guys for taking the opportunity to give these kids a chance. They deserve it. This was such a fun and great experience for me to be able to volunteer and coach these kids. I mean, I love this city. I've been here for 10 years, and it's just a great experience to be able to give back to my kids and my community that I live in. So thank you.
Thanks, Sid. Tell you what, we are a town of Wildcats. There's a bunch of Wildcat grads that played a lot of Wildcat sports in this town. None played harder, none played better than Sydney Clark. That right there is a Wildcat. Comments from council or mayor?
Chair, can I make a comment?
Please do.
I think a lot of recognition and accolades for a lot of well-deserving people. One name not mentioned is Ben Nadolski, who's put a ton of time and effort into this, and so we need to give him that time. You can tell his heart's in it, and he does a lot for this community in this way too. So thank you, Ben.
Thanks, brother.
And Chair, if I might, it is so gratifying to see all of you young women here and in the programs that you are. It gives old farts like me hope for the future. Can you say that in council meeting?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, the character and the sportsmanship and all those qualities that you gain from that, not to mention the camaraderie that builds, is just absolutely fabulous. And you'll hang on to these things all throughout your whole life. And I appreciate those of you who have put yourself out to do this. This is a great thing, and we admire you. Thank you.
I'll say something. I was never much of a softball player because I kept striking out, but I do love sports, so I appreciate this happening here tonight. Being how the agenda's not very long, I'm going to tell a little story. When I was about 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old, I wanted to play sports, and there just wasn't a lot of kids my age that in my neighborhood to play sports with. So I was always playing with kids older, or always playing. I had to wait a year till I could qualify, and then I'd sit out a year, then I'd play. And a guy came to my house and said, "Hey, I coach at another side of town. Do you want to come play with us?" And I thought, "Oh, that's so scary." I didn't know any of those kids. I didn't know what to do. And he said, I promise you, if you'll come play sports with us, these kids that you'll be with are going to be your friends for the rest of your life. It'll change your life." And so I did that. I went and played sports my whole life with kids that I never once went to school with. I didn't go to school with those guys until I got to high school. But when I got to high school, I finally got to be with them every day. And it really did change my life. Those kids that I got to spend every day after school with and every day in the summer with, those were my best friends. And fast forward now, I'm turning 50, and I'm planning a trip with those same kids. And we're planning a big 50 celebration trip, but it's with those kids that I played sports with, that I spent all my time with, and those were my best friends. And so I want you to look around and see all those people around you, because these are going to be your friends for the rest of your life, and these are the ones you're going to remember the rest of your life. And those coaches, I know you don't think you do, but you change people's lives, that you make a huge impact, and it might go unnoticed, and it might be hard some days, but those kids, they love you, and it means so much to them, and it truly makes our community better. So I appreciate these kids for getting involved, for being willing to sacrifice their time and sacrifice maybe some time on the couch, but to get out and do something to learn those skills and learn those values that sports can teach you. But also those coaches that take the time to be there. I look back at the coach that came and got me, and I'm not sure how much he knew about soccer, but I knew he was there every night, and I knew he was there every day in the summer, and that's what I remember. And so my hat's off to you coaches, and my hat's off to all of you kids. And I truly like council member hires that I respect all of you, and I appreciate all the time and effort you put into it.
I don't have big, long stories like that.
I can go on.
I know. My turn.
Yeah.
As someone that grew up playing softball all my life, it's just a delight to look out here and see all you. And one of the things, and I know as you are, as Councilmember Blair said, maybe not as much couch time and really hard work. One of the things that you will learn as you go forward is that you will be able to do hard things. Right now, you probably are doing hard things like fixing the bruise that you have on your knees and your legs because you slid into base or got hit by a pitch or something like that. Those are hard things, or even a loss. That's a hard thing. And you're learning hard things, and it'll make you a better person and a better person as you go forward. And so just make sure that as you learn hard things that you help other people with those hard things and have them understand that it was a hard thing, but you're going on. And so I'm really proud of you for being here, giving your time away as far as coaches and parents. I know my parents, I don't know, they didn't know that we lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. They felt like we lived in every other city that we played softball in. So I appreciate that you're here as well. So thank you for all that you do, not just for the kids, but for our community and supporting how great our community is to other places. So thank you.
I don't have any stories, no, but I just wanted to congratulate you all and just say how I am very inspired to see you all, and I respect all the time and effort you've put into this. I'm not a very sporty person, but part of that is because I didn't have this community to help me become a sports person. But my children, especially my daughter, sports, I think, saved her life, right? I mean, that was what got her through high school and helped her trust herself and her body and invest in herself. So I hope that you honor and respect that in yourself too, that you're, putting this time and effort into yourself, and you're the only you've got, right? So I fully expect that some of you in the audience will one day be the mayor or be the president or something like that too, because I think you all can do that. I mean, after you're done.
Well, of course. Most of them are happy to come up now anyway. That's okay. I have no problem with that. I would echo everything that's been said here. I am super proud of you all. I'm super proud of the coaches. I want to thank Ed and our recreation department. I have a daughter that's got a full ride out of Ogden School District as an athlete. She was in the stick and ball sport. If you watch her golf, you'd be amazed at how terrible she is. So what you're learning is really good. But I want to thank you all for contributing to Ogden and to what we aspire to be and what we aspire to do. I want to thank all the coaches. My daughters would not have done anything they've done without a handful of coaches. They get tired of hearing from their parents. So those of you that are willing to take time out of your day and reinforce what we try to teach at home on the sports field and athletic fields, it's amazing. And I'm honored to be with you all and to have two recognitions. One for the kids that are willing to get out and get after it. I think that's absolutely amazing. And those for the coaches that are willing to give up their time and energy as well. So congratulations to all of you. What an honor to celebrate you tonight. Thank you for everything you're doing, and we look forward to great things from you in the future. It's really an honor to have you all here and to celebrate you tonight. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members. Thank you, staff. Thank you, players. Thank you, parents. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, Ogden. Thank you especially, Bart, for that story. Bart got in the Wayback Machine for that one.
That's right.
But what you guys don't know about Bart, and this stands for a lot of people in Ogden that go unnamed tonight, is that you're standing on their shoulders, you're standing on his shoulders. Bart didn't say anything tonight about it, but he's coached a lot of ball as well. Okay? He's coached a lot of kids in Ogden.
He coached my kids. They're terrible.
That's why they're terrible.
That's not the coach's fault. That's not the coach's fault.
That's why they're fast, but not good.
Yeah, we did run.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that have been working to this moment, you guys. Councilmember White said that you guys are learning how to do hard things. The hard thing that you guys are doing right now, it's not just showing up to practice. It's not just putting in the reps. It's not just pushing through the fatigue. The hard thing is living up to this moment for Ogden, okay? Living up to this moment for yourselves. Okay, this is a big opportunity for Ogden. It's a big opportunity for every one of you. It's a big opportunity for a lot of families, okay? We're not expecting perfection from any of you guys. I mean, heck, we didn't give you perfection all season long, right? But we gave you our best. That's all we're asking for from you guys is your best. Your best will always be good enough for us, okay? And in return, we'll give you our best. Our best has got to be good enough for you, and we know it will be, okay? this is what, when you go home tonight, you're going to turn on the TV and you might see some really bad stuff said about politics. It's all true. Okay? But just remember, that's not what this is. You got every single one of your elected officials in here is here to support you. Okay? So when you think about politics, you think about Ogden, think about these guys, because this is exactly what we live for. Okay? If you guys want to stick around a little bit longer, we're going to take public comment and you can see the real deal. It's probably not going to be quite as cheery and happy. And I mean, he said fart, I'll say puppy farts. Okay, but thank you everybody for coming tonight. Thank you for being a part of Untamed.
We've lost it.
Okay, let's keep it up. We got a lot of work to do for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
There's got to be different age groups, so I would say.
Teams.
All the way from 8 to 15.
And then, is that 3 teams?
3 teams. Next year will be 5, and then the year after 10. That's the plan. Yeah. Yep. Good night, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. We'll give them just one more minute, okay?
That little girl.
Sorry, brother.
She's walking out. Yeah. 14.
Bye, Coach Ben. Bye, Bob.
See you guys.
Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome, Rose.
Out of your suit and getting
So
your jersey every night.
You know it. You're welcome.
Yeah, they would help me. I'm not good.
See you, Irvin. Okay. Appreciate your patience. Okay, next item on our agenda. Huh? Yeah. Yep, next item on our agenda is public comments. This is your opportunity to address the council on any topic. State your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes, if you would. Thanks.
Bob Givney, 152 West 2nd, the usual. I think that he built some pictures for you to see. Oh, they haven't quite come through yet. Okay.
Oh, keep working on it.
But this is on the Mr. Strong again, over on 2nd. The pictures will show you come around the corner, that asphalt is down 2, 3, 4 inches in spots. It's like it didn't get compacted right where it comes out of the driveway. And then it's more pea gravel than it is asphalt, it looks like. It's cracking. You know, we get a winter and snow and ice or whatever, all the cracks that you'll see in it, it's going to be up this winter. But I can't blame inspectors. I can't blame that because he turns around and they ask him, they say, well, have you completed this? And he says, yes, and that, and, with agreement with irrigation and everything else. He hasn't. I don't know if any of you saw the copy that, like Mr. Hire got with the court order and everything. He's ignoring it. So next week we're going to file on it. Shelley Hart property, you remember that? Anderson, when he was trying to buy it. They went in there. They tore about 120 foot of fence out. And it's been 2 weeks, he ain't done nothing. We've talked to him. We had a meeting with him. That's why I say if it was loaded on here, I could go through the number 1 through all this. The dates, the July 28th and that. Is that on there, please?
That's in your inbox right now, that letter.
That letter's in the front right now? Okay. The inspectors they get stuck with this crap. And then they go on to the next job. So they're rushed. And they'll say, well, this says you're supposed to be done. Have you contacted with this entity and is it working out? He'll turn around and say, oh, yeah, they're perfect. They're agreed and everything. They have no real way of checking with the other entity to see if it has been completed. When he put the apartments in, he left the old easement there. He's got it was apartment number 8. I don't know what it is now. That's sitting over it, and they should have said, no, you can't build that until you get the other done in the survey. He still hadn't done the survey. And since then, they've hit the pipe again and broke it open, a brand new pipe. They tore that down at Shelley's. They exposed the ditch. They've got kids over there in the apartments now. The box is like this thing. It's supposed to have a cover on it so nobody will fall in and stuff. It ain't doing it. So so do you want to look at that and ask me anything off the pictures and that?
Yeah, actually, we're pretty good at politics, I guess. We're not good at it, but we're not good at being engineers. We've got the best engineer in the state right over here.
Yeah.
Are you good to talk with him for us?
So,
okay.
Yeah, go see Justin when after the meeting.
Yeah, well, but the other thing that we were on is, I don't know if legally we can get you people to invade the money, that bond that he put in, pay us, then we can fix it.
Yeah, and Justin can work with
I don't
legal
know if he can
as
or
well.
not.
We wouldn't.
But otherwise, we're going to take him into court and see if the judge will do it.
Okay.
Justin's happy to talk to you after this meeting. If you can hang on for a minute, he'll meet with you.
Okay.
So, but I want you guys to know what it is and look at the pictures, see what it looks like.
Okay.
I mean, it is. You wouldn't want to live next to it.
Okay. Thank you.
So, take care.
Appreciate it. Okay. Anyone else? Thanks, Justin. Angel, you know the routine?
I do. Angel Castillo, Ogden resident. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Again, I'd like to thank Brandon Garside. I seem to just be spending every Tuesday in my car between 4 and 6 p.m. So I'm very grateful that the council has a commitment to transparency and inclusivity for people who can't be at the work session. Speaking of the work session, my ears perked up when I heard the presentation about the 1.3 million total award and those very narrow lanes of $250,000 annual revenue. YCC falls directly under that. It's a $3 million plus budget. And as of July 31st, we received 700 crisis calls a month. And we are in the middle of a capital campaign. We are building housing because rentals are hard to get. It fits right into the being impacted by COVID as it relates to the pandemic. We cannot find housing that we used to have, and I say we as I'm a board member, people that we were able to transition clients out of our facility and into actual housing to get them on their feet. It's really hard. They just don't exist anymore. And lifting up what Councilmember Heyer said, that there are a lot of people and a lot of corporations that are purchasing property and using them as Airbnbs. And I'm not exactly sure what the answer is to that with property rights and all. There are other cities that have a legislature that limits the number of corporations that can invest within a particular neighborhood. So maybe that's something to pursue. But I would really recommend that you consider that, because that's a very narrow lane of how much revenue you have to have. And YCC it's YCC and it's Safe Harbor. We handle everything from Ogden through Weber and Davis, and 700 calls a month is a problem. The pandemic has put our numbers through the roof with people needing services. So I highly encourage you to consider that. With regards to the Ogden annexation, again, I agree with Councilmember Heyer and Councilmember Nadolski that we shouldn't be giving things away, and it's going to be really, really complicated. And definitely not just with the setback, but if it faces Ogden, what does that look like? Our citizens don't deserve to look at the back of a building. And we want to make sure that we have the same standards. And I also, again, agree with Councilmember Heyer with making sure if you're going to be adjusting the code for specifications for metal roofs, you need a pallet because everyone's going to change and you want to have continuity. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we got a couple questions online, a couple hands raised online. Let's start with Jordan Silver. Brandon, you good? Jordan, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sure can.
Okay. Hi, Jordan Silver, Ogden resident. You guys have heard me talk regarding the issues at the airport before, and I had a printed statement again I was going to read, but I'm just going to kind of wing it here. I really wanted to try and narrow things down in the times that I talk coming forward. But basically, recently on June 28th, you guys had a working meeting with Bryant Garrett regarding why the airlines were leaving. And one of the reasons he gave for the airlines leaving was due to a pilot shortage. I've been working as a professional pilot for 15 years, over 8,000 hours flying aircraft. I'm deeply invested in aviation, and the pilot shortage is real. And I just wanted to make the statement that the actions of the airport manager and Ogden City regarding hangar leases and reversion of those hangars to the city is a huge detriment to the pilot shortage. Ogden Airport has gone from a thriving and beautiful airport where general aviation was abounded. There were picnics, there were barbecues, there were events. It was an amazing place to be. And in a short career as I have had, I have just watched it die. And I just want to issue again a call to action to the city council to reach out to people other than the airport manager, other than the people that are talking to you about it. Talk to the public, talk to the stakeholders, Ed McKinney with the ORAA, anybody, and just try and alter the course of what's going on out there. There's an amazing PowerPoint that I'd be willing to provide from Heber City. They went through the same thing, and then they ended up changing course and going the other way. And I think if you looked at that, it might open your eyes to why changing course on how things are happening at the airport would be a good idea. I just really want to see Ogden Airport thrive in any way possible. So I know that was a bit all over the map, but that's how I'm feeling tonight. So thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jordan. Sounded pretty direct and clear to me. Okay, next up is Heath Sato.
Hey there, Heath Sato, Ogden resident. Just given the theme tonight, I just wanted to say to you, Chair Nadolski, that I really appreciate your continuing support of our community sports programs and especially your efforts to keep the Marshall White Center project moving forward. We really do appreciate it. That's all. Thanks.
Thanks, Heath. Hats off to your figurine as well. Okay. Any other hand? Let's give it a second. Okay. See no other hands raised. Comments from the mayor?
Sure. Just echo what I said earlier. I mean, that was an amazing night to have all those kids in here and feel the enthusiasm and the excitement, and to be able to recognize the coaches that give so much to our youth and to our kids. It doesn't happen without the coaches and the passion that people bring into it. I made a joke about Bart coaching my kids in soccer. They're absolutely terrible soccer players. But he was there every single day, made no money for it at all. I know that a lot of people along this dais have spent time coaching their kids up and everything else. That was a really, really heartwarming moment for me, and I'm sure for all of you tonight. But I just could not double down enough to say thank you for everything that everybody does to make this work. And we've talked about this in the past. Ogden's been recognized as one of the most charitable communities in the United States when it comes to volunteer hours given and charitable donations. And that was a reflection of what that does. And that's part of the reason I'm so honored and inspired to represent all of you and all of them and everything else. It's a service job for sure. And I hope you all get to go home. And we've said a number of times the softest pillow in the world is a really clear conscience. And we see all that energy and everything else. Everybody should be able to sleep really well, because we're doing a lot of the right things for the right reasons. And I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members?
Yeah, I just want to make a clarification. I think maybe just listening to what Angel had said earlier, the clarification is that it's a minimum of $250,000. And you said the YCC.
In the work session, it was referred to as the annual budget, and Angela lifted up that there are not many entities.
YCC fits within that, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I was
saying, is that we have a $3 million budget.
Yeah, so you'll qualify. YCC qualifies. Thank you. Anything else?
I just didn't know. Oh, I apologize.
Go ahead.
I just didn't know if we wanted to give any update on the fire and if other people have been talking about the fires.
10% contained. They're drawing water from 2 sources right now and having 2 helicopters drop water. We're rehabilitating firefighters at El Monte because it's 100 degrees outside, and that's brutal on our people. We've got fire departments from Riverdale, South Ogden, and who knows where else that are fighting this fire. But 10% contained. So far, still only 24 homes have been evacuated. Our fear is if they don't make enough progress when the canyon winds start, that is a whole new fire. So they're working hard right now to try and knock it down tonight.
We have no doubt. This is where you'll pay top dollar for top professional, right?
That's what you guys voted on
exactly
a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Totally agree.
Okay, anyone else?
I just had a question for the administration. Someone asked me the other day, it seems like I haven't been in a couple of weeks, but down on the parkway, he just said, he and his family like to walk down there and whatever, walk their dog and walk. And with the influx of e-bikes and they go a little faster. Do we have a code? Do we have a stance on that and stuff like that?
It's a kind of a Gary Williams question of what we can regulate with e-bikes, since he is an e-bike owner.
Yeah, I didn't know how to answer it, and I just thought, I don't even know if we have what we can do or what our stance is, so I just thought I'd ask.
Well, you can have speed limits on paths, and so you can certainly do that. And I believe certainly in our rules, there already is a speed limit, I think at 10 miles an hour, so they might already be violating that. As far as the e-bikes go, they're treated like bicycles unless you regulate them differently, and in some cases you can regulate them differently. And so if you're interested in going down that path, we can talk about it.
Okay. I'll think about it, but I was just curious, and I just didn't have an answer for him. So
they're probably already violating
and
that's true of e-bikes and regular bikes.
Yeah.
They're probably both going too fast.
Okay. Thank you.
I would add 5 years ago, I was reading Bicycling Magazine before the pandemic hit, and they sold 42 million e-bikes in Europe. And so microtransportation is going to be something that's with us. So if you want to have conversations about if we need guardrails on that or people are feeling threatened, that's a conversation we can have, but it's certainly coming.
For sure.
I bet almost all of my friends' wives have e-bikes now.
Yeah.
And so it's coming, and that's something if there are legitimate concerns out there, would be happy to talk about those.
Great. Thank you.
And I can add a little. WFRC's Active Transportation Committee, which I'm a member of, I believe it was last year, maybe it was more than that. They were talking about what they thought were regulations. So they were talking about the amperage of the bike rather than, speed limits per se. But, the amperage does kind of dictate how fast it can go. And so that was kind of what I don't know what the legislature finally did, but I know that was the avenue that they were trying to regulate it by, is how much oomph does that bike even have? So
yeah, it's a great setting and a lot of people use it, and and I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying I would hate to see people who have used it for a long time not want to go there anymore. So I was just curious, and I didn't have an answer. So
Maybe we need some radar guns.
Yeah.
On the bike trail.
Yeah, that's what makes me nervous. So. Okay. Yeah.
You're picking it a really difficult one. Huh?
It's hard. Yeah, that's a hard
not
one.
as easy as it seems.
Mhm.
Actually, public land agencies are regulating by the mechanism type 1, type 2, and type 3 pedal assist. You know,
Yeah.
et cetera. And it's way harder than it seems. But it's one of those evolving technologies that's with us. It's going to be with us for a long time.
And maybe it's I don't know if I'm willing or excited about, regulating it, but maybe some type of information or educational package or some way to, just remind people. But we'll see. I was just curious.
Okay. Anything else, Council? Just a quick tip of the hat to Gary for his random legal knowledge. Thank you for that. Okay. Seeing no others.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hire, second by Councilmember Chaburka to adjourn. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you very much.